Hey guys, and welcome back to the Troubleshooting. Today, it's taken 95 years for Alex to finally get his TVR to run properly. Yeah, go on.
Hey guys, welcome back to the restroom. In this episode, we'll be starting the TVR. So first off, I've wrapped the manifolds, as you can see, to help with the heat in the engine bay, as it's quite cramped. And now I've just got to stick them on with some new gaskets. I also took the opportunity to clean up and paint the rocker covers just so it looks a bit nicer in the engine bay. And I also did the tappets off camera as well. I also cleaned up and painted the tank, and I made the tank cradle, which was completely rusted out before, so I had to make that from scratch. Then I cleaned up the exhaust before I put it on. And I welded in the lambda bung as well. Right, so I've buttoned a few things up here. Pretty much all the coolant lines are done. Yeah, sort of done. Working, shall we say, with just what I've got. Again, down there it's not brilliant, but it will do for now. There's my expansion tank up there. So yeah, that's all good. Done the fuel lines as well. I've also done the fuel filter up there and the fuel pump, which is just in there. I'm going to get a pre-pump filter as well, because that's the factory way round it goes, with the filter after the pump. However, I'm not confident that is the cleanest tank in the world, so I'm just waiting for a fuel pump. So while I do that, I'm just going to run it through a jerry can just so there's no bits in it. And so now I'm going to test that the fuel is actually coming out in the engine bay. Hey, look at that. That means fuel's making it all the way to the engine. So we should be good to go. Okay, so I've got a few things buttoned up on the TVR. It's kind of temporary for now because I just want to get it going and on the roads. It's not the nicest in the world. It'd be nicer to get some like metal pipes and stuff here to make it look a bit nicer, but it works for now, or hopefully will work for now. So I've also put the ECU in and just gone through a few setting up things. I'm new to tuning standalone stuff, or just tuning in general really, so it's a bit of trial and error and a lot of watching other guys on here, which is very handy. I've just set up the basic things on the ECU. I'm here by myself because Ben's in a Mackey's car park in a Civic, hanging out with all the other Honda boys. So the next thing I need to do really in the ECU setting up thing is to sync the timing with the engine and the software. I've calibrated everything already. Everything seems to be working. Coolant, air, temp, and the TPS. I have actually got spark as well, and the ECU is getting the RPM reading off the distributor, because it's just still the standard distributor using itself as the trigger, rather than like an aftermarket trigger wheel or something like that. And it's the Ford TFI system, so it's not the EDIS, it's just before that, where it just relies on the distributor.
Fire in the hole! On a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous are you? Is it 10? Hang on, let me get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Just make sure it's recording. Yeah, go on. check the timing quickly. Because that doesn't quite sound like she's timed. It's not working. It does sound like it's missing a bit. That's funny.
It's fucking 3-cylinder, mate.
3-cylinder, bro. Oh man. Hey, that did a thing then, didn't it?
Yeah. So I put new plugs in and that's going to fix it.
Take 954. It's definitely out of time, isn't it? It's got to be.
Yeah, I'm going to move the distributor around if I can keep it running.
You can try and give it a bit of a rev.
As soon as you rev it, it's just like, nah.
It's like, nope.
It does sound a bit better.
It sounds a bit better, yeah.
I'm not sure if it's still on all cylinders or not, mate.
It's hard to tell, mate, isn't it? Until you can rev it up.
Yeah, because then you.
It sort of sounds like this, though.
Yeah. Hey guys, so I honestly don't know where I just left off in this video, as this is probably a few months later because we're in the new unit now. But it's back to getting the TVR running. So I've had quite a lot of issue over these last few months, that's why I haven't really done much to it. Just getting it to run right and just go in the right direction, as in tuning wise. So I had loads of issues. Some of it I think was down to a fuel pump on the way out and dodgy plugs or something. Anyway, a bit of hardware issue. So I've sorted that. I've been through the wiring with a guy called Sean from MS2 Tuning. He did the loom for me. So he's done a bit of remote tuning and checking, and he couldn't see anything wrong with the map. And so anyway, I've deduced that it was the fuel pump being a bit dodgy and also a couple of plugs being a bit dodgy. So I've got it running on all cylinders now. And I've started off just doing a fuel only tune just to eliminate any distributor TFI issues. And I've unplugged the spout connector, which is it's the spark output to the ECU. So it's basically just fuel only, and then when you unplug the spout on one of these TFI units, it goes back to just 10 degrees. So I know I can set that to 10 degrees as distributor because I've been messing around with it, spinning it and all sorts. So I know that the distributor is right where it is at 10 degrees, and I've got it running okay just on fuel only. So I'll show you what that's like now. Check out this bad boy. Comes off the exhaust into this big old fan which Rich, one of our unit neighbours, gave us, and then out the wall. As it was just because there's only one way in, and obviously I'm at the back of the unit as well, so I did start it up before, and you run it for about 5 minutes and then you almost die of carbon monoxide poisoning. So that's it running. As you can see, it revs up alright. It's not perfect, but it's just fuel only, so it's not, I don't think it's advancing or anything like that. So now I'm going to plug the spark output back in and see what it runs like that. So here's the wire into the distributor. It's all sort of laid over the top of it at the moment. I did put it in nicely, but then I didn't know if maybe it was wiring problems that would cause it not to run, so I went through everything. So I've made this the spark output so you can disconnect it, because I didn't have it like that before. So I'm going to connect it back up and then see what happens. So I've plugged the spout in, and basically the way I had it on the settings, it was running. So I'll just show you the settings quick. So I've got the Ford TFI, but it's the one with the computer controlled dwell, so it's a CCD module. And the way I had it before was I had it falling edge, going high, and it would run with the spout plugged in. However, I was revving it up, and what was happening, I couldn't really get my head around it, but instead of advancing, it was retarding. So on fuel only, it was fine, it would rev up, and obviously it wouldn't advance or anything because it was just sat. It was just sat with the base timer, and that was fine. It would rev up, and it meant I could get the fuel table close enough so I knew it wasn't the issue. And then, so what I did is I plugged the spout in and put it on basic trigger with the input and the spout the other way around, so I've got it here. And yeah, so it would, instead of advancing, it was retarding, so I couldn't work out what was going on. I tried flipping these round to how they are now, so I got rising edge and then going low, and then it basically, as soon as I plugged the spout back in, because I had it running with the spout disconnected just because I knew it was running, as soon as I plugged it back in, it would just instantly die. And I couldn't get my head around it because the only logical thing to me was that these were the wrong way around, so it was triggering off the wrong edge of the square wave, hence why it was the wrong way around. So I thought, well, if I do it this way round, then it would be the right way around, but it would just die instantly. So what I did, I'll show you, is I had it running with the spout disconnected, and that was fine. It was ticking over all right, and I had the timing set at 10 degrees on the little mark. And then tried plugging it in, it would die. But what I did is I loosened the distributor. I just had a brainwave because as I watched it with the timing light, it was going, as it died, it was going to the more retarded bit, so more after top of the center. So I figured, as it's dying, if I loosen the distributor off and just turn it a little bit and see if that helps it, and lo and behold, I plugged it in and moved it a little bit at the same time. That kept it going. And then I thought, right, okay, so something's working here. So, and then I just gave it a little rev, and yeah, it was going the right way. So that's the way I have the settings on this. As I say, it's the black module with the TFI, not the grey module, which the majority of Mustangs and that in the US are. And it's slightly different wiring as well. But yeah, so it's running now, and I'll show you it now. So that's it. After months of trying to get the TVR to run right, it's idling, free revving, fine now. It starts up really well as well. So there's still a lot of tuning to go, and obviously to get it actually moving under its own power is the next step. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with us. I know we haven't uploaded for a few months now, but so hopefully the next few videos Ben's back on his Beetle now, so we're gonna get some welding and grinding done on it, and get some progress done with that as well. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. It's at the Rust Room. Give us a like and a comment there. And I know it was ages ago, but we have passed 200 subscribers now, so we will find something to give away. So maybe we'll do that in the next video, or we'll put a post up on social media. So if you get on there and check it out, we'll put something up soon of some sort of giveaway. But yeah, thanks everyone.